Hello, Soren. Uh, this is Ace and Odalman coming at you from in quarantine. And I hear that you want to learn how to make my little Sculpey demons. So I'm going to show you right now. Now I'm going to take my face off camera. You can watch my hands and listen to my voice. Here it is. So first off, the demon is designed to be made with only a single bar of Sculpey. So get some sort of knife and cut off a bar, and then just start to work it with your hands. This stuff's pretty old, so it needs to be warmed up, and that's the most important part. The other colors you're going to need eventually is a little bit of black, and a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of orange. And even though I am working on my table here, it's a table designed for work, so you should have a special surface because Sculpey is a polymer clay, and it's got what's called plastifiers inside, and that will eat the coating right off of furniture. So don't ruin the furniture, get a good workspace. Here we go, it's starting to get warm enough, I would say. All right, good enough. So then you're just gonna roll this into a ball and elongate it very slightly. So you have a shape like that. It's still a little old. Here we go. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your knife to cut in the most basic features. So there's the kind of head body and the arms and the legs. So I'm gonna start by cutting the legs in, and then I'm going to cut in the arms. It's very basic. You don't need to be very detailed at this point. And then I'm just going to kind of squish it up so that I get the basic shape of the body. Sculpting the body. This is what it's like. It's been quite a few years since I've done one of these. And because these things are supposed to sit, it's good to kind of push the bum in there. And then as you're sculpting, just using your fingers, very easy at this point, you're gonna put the knees together. And if you squeeze your four fingers together, it kind of makes knee just like that. I'm gonna spread these legs out a little bit. I hope this is going to work out. Probably will. Okay. So there we go. We got the legs, and then again, you can cut the toes in there. How many are there? 2, 3? Let's do 3. Yep. Gotta squeeze the foot out so I can cut through. Like so. And same thing, I'm just going to try and get my fingers in there and round those toes off. But don't be too particular. These are supposed to be made really quickly. I made a bunch of these at a time and then gave them away to whoever visited the apartment. So there we go. We got some rudimentary feet. Oh, we'll fix that one a little bit. And I'm going to use a tool. Here's a tool that I made. It's just a piece of dowel that I've sharpened in a pencil sharpener. One end's a little sharper, one end's a little duller. And then I sanded the point off with a piece of sandpaper. So I see that the back of the knee here isn't quite what I want it to be. So I'm just going to deepen that knee until it looks the way that I want it to. There we go, legs, pretty much done. Let's clear some of the body out from there. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the toes, but with the hands. Feel like I wasn't very accurate with the cutting there, but like I said, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna push the clay where I want it to be. And then I'm going to make the hands. Same thing, 3 fingers, or 2 fingers and a thumb for the hands. So there's the thumb, and there are the fingers. There's the thumb, And there are the fingers. It's all the same. Once you got them cut out, you just kind of roll them between your fingers. Try not to tear them off. Here we go. Same thing on the other side. Finger, finger, thumb. Oh yeah, it's starting to come together. Okay. He's sitting pretty much the way I want him to be. And we're gonna put the hands reaching out in this case. All right, we're most of the way there. This doesn't take long. Now I'm gonna put in the mouth. So I'm gonna use the duller end of this, and I'm just gonna squeeze it in until I have a mouth that I like the shape of. And these were never that complicated. So round was usually the shape. How about like that for now? Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to look like something. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put in the horns. So first, even though it's a little early, I'm gonna decide where I want the horns, and I'm gonna put a little hole there. And what that does is, maybe I'll use the bigger end, it helps the Sculpey connect together without me having to press it down a lot. So here's how you make the horns. You add a little bit of orange, really very little, a pinch, one might say. And you roll it out just like a little snake. And then you get the same amount of black, and you do the same thing. So here we go, a little pinch black. Oh, this is really old and crispy. Gonna have to work it a little bit of extra time. There we go, that's starting to soften up. So it looks like there's actually a little bit too much black here. I'm gonna roll it out until I have a piece that's about the same size. It's not exact, and you'll see why I'm doing this in just a moment. So here we go, laid side by side, a piece of black and a piece of orange. So now I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to start to gently twist them around each other. And depending on where my fingers are, that's where the twist is going to be. There we go. It's a little candy cane. So again, a little candy cane. And I'm going to take my knife and being very gentle, because I don't want to cut myself, I'm going to cut through the wide part right in the middle. And now, taking one side, even though there's that wide part, I'm going to bring it to a bit of a point too, because I made that little reservoir there, little hole in the head. And I'm going to push that into the hole. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Point it out, stick it into the reservoir, and push it in. And if you want to be really careful, one thing you can do is then you can take the main color of the body and push it in, and then it'll really fuse. There we go. Kind of looks like the base of horns when you do that. And it doesn't take too long. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to curl them a little bit inwards. That's the look that I like. We're getting there. Now, because I've been messing around, I messed up the mouth. So now I'm going to play with it a little bit more. Getting pretty close to the final form. And as you sculpt, you'll find that you make some mistakes and you just clean it up as you go. So don't be worried if you try something and then you smear it or something breaks off. You can work Sculpey forever. Even, in fact, once it's been baked, you can add Sculpey to it and then bake again. Okay, that mouth looks terrible. Here we go. Oh, was there a tongue? in the original design? I don't even remember anymore. Whatever, we'll see if we have time for that. Here we are, we're getting very close. See it? Yes, okay. So now the eyes. This is where I use this tool. You can use anything with a little point on it. And it's just so that I can get a really small amount of something. So I'm going to start by taking out a tiny amount of the yellow. And I'm going to roll it. You can't even see it, but I'm going to roll it into a little ball. Have to do it by touch. Is it a ball yet? Is it a ball yet? I think it is. Okay. So now I'm going to take this ball. It's very small. Can you see it? I'm going to take it and I'm just going to push it right onto the face of my demon. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing again. It'll be yellow. I think I'm going to make the eyes different size today. Because why not? So again, just doing it by touch, rolling it into a little ball. Yeah. It's a little easier to accidentally make a sausage than a ball, but that's okay. There we go. And then I'm going to press it into the face. There it is. And oh, look, I've got this piece of black left over. And now I'm going to use the point on this to take the smallest amount possible. It's really, ooh, oh Lord, is it small. Okay. And then I'm going to press that dot into the center of the eye. And I'm going to do it again for the other eye. Okay, tiny amount. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Oh, it's even crumbling a little bit. Oh, no, there's still something there. I could use it. Okay. So it's there on my finger, and I'm going to press it into the center of the eye. And, oh, yes. And there are the pupils. Sometimes with these, I like to give them long, sort of medieval demon noses. Maybe I'll do that. I'm definitely doing things in the wrong order. Like I said, it's been a while, but that's okay. So I'm gonna break the rule that these are gonna be made out of just a single bar of red. I've got an extra little piece here, and I'm going to sculpt my nose. First, I'm going to warm up the clay, warming it up, folding it, rolling it, folding it, rolling it. Okay. And then just like when I attach the horns, I'm going to make a little reservoir on the face. That way it will be easier to attach. Whoop, whoop. Oh, now this is delicate work. Try not to destroy those eyes. Push it into place. And then I'm going to use my tool and I'm going to try and smear everything together. Okay, it's got a nose. And what else? Oh, I like to give them nostrils. I just use this, a pin on a stick, and I poke in the nostrils. Not that anybody's going to look down there, but if they do, they'll say, hey, he's got nostrils. Nice work, Soren. That's what's going to happen, I promise. Just like that. A little more smearing into place. And that is essentially how I make a demon. Now, for fun, I'm going to add one more piece. I'm going to add a tongue because that's fun. He's kind of looking upwards. I'd like him to be looking forward a little bit more. Oh, yeah, he's looking nice and distraught. Okay, here, I'm going to change the position of the hand. Like I said, you can just sculpt this stuff forever until it is what you want it to be. There, now his hand is pressing down on the ground. Okay, that one's palm up. And like I said, the tongue. It's good to have a tongue of a different color than the body. It looks a little weird otherwise. One other tiny little piece of red. And I'm going to add a little black to it, just a very small amount to change the color. And when you're color mixing, you need to mix for quite a long time or the clay will just be all streaky. Though sometimes what you want is streaky. Okay, there. So now I've got a slightly different color, and I'm going to sculpt the tongue. Here it is. It's like a sort of triangle. And using my pin on a stick, I'm going to draw a line down it, and I'm even going to put in the little taste buds, because that's hilarious. And then once it is done, oh Lord, can you see the detail? Okay, I'm going to put it in the mouth of my demon. And I'm going to push it down really just at the back where people cannot see. Hopefully I won't wreck too much of my detail. Okay, I think that's about where I want it to be. So I'm just going to give it a last little poke so that it is exactly what I want. Often what happens is you get the oven going and then you're sitting there looking at it and you decide there are things to change. And that's all right. But don't wreck it just because you're waiting for the oven. So he's pretty good. I'm going to do one last thing because one of his hands is palm up. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and the red is coming off my hands and coloring it. And gonna make something for him to hold. Warm up that clay, maybe get rid of some of the red from my hands. And now I'm just gonna make a little shape here. Okay. Hope this is still in the camera. Good. Okay. And a lot of little dots. The pin on a stick is great. You just draw on any detail that you want. Okay, that's good enough. Put that in the hand. And there. It's the When Life Gives You Lemons demon. I'm going to bring that right up to the camera. As close as I can. I didn't press that lemon down, so maybe it's going to break off. We'll see. So for baking the Sculpey, I use a glass pan here. And I've cut out a circle of paper so that the Sculpey will come off the pan. It can stick a little bit if there's no lining. So now I'm going to go preheat the oven and I'm going to bake it off. And then when it's done, I'll show you the results. And maybe while the oven is heating, I'll put a last couple other details on. Who knows? All right, see you soon. All right, Soren. So the demon's out of the oven. Sounds like the cat's out of the bag. Anyways, at this point, when it's right out of the oven, it's pretty much as fragile as it can be. So the best thing to do is not touch it for 15 minutes. But if you're impatient like me, you can very carefully remove it from the pan because the pan holds a lot of heat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spatula and I'm just going to try and get it right under there and not burn myself. And take it off the pan. And there we go. Now I'm not going to touch it. And that pan, whew, well, it's going to take a while to cool down. So there it is. It worked out pretty well. As I said, I did put a couple of finishing touches on it while I was waiting for the oven to heat. I put some frown lines under the eyes because we're all so worried these days. And I actually used this pin and I poked up through the hand so that the lemon would be a little bit better attached. And I re-put the points, the little dots on the lemon so that you could see them again, because I mashed a bunch of them away when I was playing around with it. So that's the last little tip I have. It's that once you've got it pretty much where you want it and you've got it on the pan before you put it in the oven, that's when it's time to do the really fine details. And so here I'm gonna do my best to lift it right up to the camera so you can see. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Here we go. Don't drop it. It's not that kind of video. There is how to make a demon out of a couple of bars of Sculpey. So, I hope you enjoyed it, Soren, and I look forward to seeing your work. So, from quarantine, this is Asa. Bye.